And you spoke about how much he's run this far. I asked Coach Jones during our production meeting what some of the pleasant surprises are this far this season, and she said only 2 players did not pass the conditioning test that they had in the preseason, whereas the year before, only 5 passed.
Correct.
So look at the roster, do the math on that. I'm going to hold off on the calculator, but that speaks to the growth of this program and the shape that these young ladies are in.
Incredible shape, and a lot of people don't know this, just a little bit of a tidbit. You will run, walk, and jog anywhere from 7 to 12 miles in any soccer match.
I believe it. That's why I'm up here in the booth.
The referee's got some good eyes on that and side over there. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, Coach Bohan is a Duke undergraduate and a UNC master's graduate, and if you ask her which side she falls, it's clearly Duke. She was almost offended that I brought that up. But I asked her, what's different about the game now than when you were playing? So you have a good heavy lob here to the near side for Garola. Swings up the middle, but right into the scooping hands of Christensen. And she said there's a lot more science into the game now. She said back then we used to overtrain. But now Embry-Riddle on the women's side, they use a program to basically track everything. How the girls are feeling, how much sleep they have, what exercises they've been doing. It's a true wellness program. And they monitor that to keep up with their workload.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind giving away my age. I'm 55 years old. The last time I was playing competitive ball was...
Look, a day over 30.
I got to buy a dinner one of these days soon. But, you know, they got Fitbits. I mean, they're giving out Fitbits to whether it's a Division I, Division II schools to monitor and everything. And of course, when you sign up for something like this, you know, if you don't like Big Brother Broshin, I'm sorry, but the Fitbits, they want to make sure that you are, like you said, the science of nutrition, the science of, they call it, well, we know it by sleep, but it's circuitive, it'll come back to me, don't worry, it's a good word. Circadian rhythm is what I wanted to bring up, and they look at that. How much you're sleeping, how much you're exercising, and like you said, not only are they looking at it from a science aspect, but also mentally and emotionally. A lot of CBT going on these days, which is cognitive,
stress levels.
Yeah, for cognitive behavioral therapy. A lot of group talking and communication, because you actually become a family, whether you're in a 2-year or a 4-year program, because you're looking to each other for that type of support system.
Now we see a prime opportunity for Daytona State. The first corner kick for the Falcons with under 9 minutes left in this opening half. And over on the far side, Hopcroft, the sophomore, and the Aylesbury, England native. Launches with the right spike, an in swing. Header out again. But possession remains with the Falcons briefly. Snuffed out. Here comes Embry-Riddle. Numbers ahead for the Eagles. Gustadottir lets it fly, and she finds the back of the net.
Just a small breakdown. They were looking so good on offense, and they just got just a little bit too much forward. Here's the replay.
Renegar Gustadottir bullets it right past Shores.
Yeah, the keeper didn't have much of a chance. Plus, she had somebody on her flank as well.
And how quickly did that change from an excellent chance for Daytona State in just under a minute in the back of the net on the opposite side?
Exactly. It was tough to watch, but darn it, that's just a game of soccer, and you see that with interceptions in football. But I really thought that was a great offensive try for them, and I think as time goes, they're going to be able to start pushing those in the middle and get more bodies in there.
High lob right into the cradle of Shores.
Right now we have the wind against us just a little bit. There's a little bit of a southern breeze picking up, which is helping out the Lady Eagles a little bit.
They'll fight for it. Shores giving it all she's got. And the ref blows a whistle with a flag to his right. It'll be a corner opportunity for Embry-Riddle.
Her momentum just carried her out a little bit, but it was a good pickup. Mm-hmm. Good save to keep away the danger. Now let's see if they try to set up that short corner again.
This time it'll be Elizabeth Allen, the sophomore out of Athens, and not Greece. I'm sorry. The one north of us in Georgia.
All right, you have Olivia Thomas defending near post right now, but you see number 6 for Embry-Riddle. That's that short corner, and luckily it was just skidded out. Not the best attempt.
Pop up the replay of that last goal scored by Embry-Riddle. And look at the acceleration, gazelle-like, for the sophomore for Embry-Riddle. Rocknador, freshman, pardon me. Garda's daughter.
Yeah, she was so out far in front, and the defense had collapsed way up front because we were looking so good. It was just an errant pass that they tried to touch back, and unfortunately didn't have enough pace on it, and that was the outcome.
Owens touches it out to her left. Garola slides, save though. And then there's Shores on the near post.
Now overall, that whole play, I mean, I loved what I was seeing. It was just didn't have enough pace on that one touch. That'll be cleaned up as the year goes on. And also the communication. That's going to take care of itself as the Lady Falcons continue to play together and become that well-oiled, engine. All right. I like this ref. He's been making some great calls. He's got good eyes. Which
you like him for now?
Well, yeah, for now. I don't usually talk about refs in a positive way, but he's been making the right calls.
Olsen bullets ahead.
I'm surprised that wasn't called. That was an illegal shield right over here, playing the person rather than the ball.
Hopcroft.
That is Megan Warner battling it out.
After the headers, they'll reverse field. Pickpocketed by Hopcroft. And the Falcons push it back out after Riddle swarms. It's a high angle. Christensen charges ahead. And again, Ted, I think you got to give credit to the swarming defense right now for Embry-Riddle and Coach Bohan's squad.
I think that once they start opening up the field a little bit, I think it was Hopcroft who had a left wing as well as a striker, but her back was to it, and that's where the communication is going to factor in to get it across field, because that would have been weak side, good weak side pass that could have had something happen good.
Armstrong to her left.
Just a missed touch there. But Armstrong's been, as a midfielder, great distributor thus far from Broomfield, Colorado. I like what I've been seeing going to both sides of the field. We've certainly seen on both sides of the pitch, the near side and the far side, the ball being played pretty equally.
Hard left boot. Out ahead, a 50-50 ball. Shores. It's her hand in there recklessly, but here come the pesky Eagles again.
That was well done. Well done by the keep. Great look there.
Hopcroft slicing. She wiggles. But ultimately, it's the Eagles' defense. Hard left through ball. This time, Shores has breathing room, and I know she's happy for that.
Correct.
Last time, she had about an inch.
Hopcroft, great skills, just doing just a bit too much, perhaps, at that moment.
Play halts and a high punt past midfield.
That looked like a handball.
No call, though, kept alive. Owens. Knocked away on the tackle. Owens goes tumbling, and we have approached just a minute remaining in this half.
It's gone by quick. But 2-0, and honestly, could easily be 1-1.
Yes. Tightly contested game between these two Daytona Beach squads.
I think, though, from both coaching standpoints, they see where the gaps need to be filled, and certainly the pluses and the minuses right now. I think overall, though, I think Coach Jones, even though it's 2-0, I think she'd be pleased with what she's witnessed thus far.
Under 20 seconds left, and
I don't think they'll have any extended play based on that injury, just because it is a
10, 9, 8,
a preseason
7,
game.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And that horn will signal the end of the first half. Embry-Riddle, the visitors from just down the street, have taken a 2-0 lead over Daytona State with four shots thus far against DSC. Have a 15-minute intermission break. We will step aside. We've got a great package for you here, so stay tuned to our live stream. We'll come back and get ready for the second half. 2-0 Embry-Riddle leading Daytona State at intermission.
Express yourself through the art of dance at Daytona State College. With a variety of classes offered in modern dance, jazz dance, and ballet, there is an outlet for your creativity. From beginners to more advanced performers, there is a place for you. Non-dancers and fitness enthusiasts will benefit from the stretch and placement class, featuring conditioning in a fitness class setting. For students with prior training and performance experience, the DSC Dance Theater performs at on- and off-campus venues. Limited scholarships are available.
Daytona State College of Education is forever grateful to Volusia and Flagler County Schools and our collaborative partnership that allows us to spend this exciting time out in the field working with these wonderful students, doing one-on-one reading instruction 4 days a week.
Daytona State has definitely prepared me for being a teacher with all the field work that we've been able to experience through the program, as well as the support and help from all of our wonderful professors. And being able to work one-on-one with the students has been a wonderful opportunity to experience that already before I get placed in my senior internship.
So today, we're going to learn about something that I think is really fascinating. We're going to be learning about weather balloons. In the IMES lab, we have state-of-the-art equipment that help us further our research.
Going to be surveying these seagrass beds here in Oak Hills and looking at how they're changing over time.
I love doing this, coming out into the field and actually getting my hands dirty. And
you get to do everything you've ever wanted to do in a marine biology program. You get to go out into the field and actually do the work.
We are truly building a program here for students that are interested in conducting undergraduate research. It's a rather rigorous program for a two-year college.
I'm going out and studying horseshoe crab populations and seeing where their nesting sites are and how often they nest where they are.
The professors motivate us, they inspire us to continue our research and to better ourselves in the scientific community.
This is much better than sitting in a classroom just looking at pictures and listening to people talk. We get to actually feel and see the plants in their natural habitat.
I love this class. I love everything about it, the learning of the names of the flowers. Now it's like putting a name with a face.
And I'm a nutrition professor and sports dietitian at Daytona State College. And I'm here today with two of our student athletes that play baseball for Daytona State. I'd like you to meet Will Arpin and John Ricca, and they're here today to show us how to make an antioxidant smoothie. So guys, tell me, how did you get interested in making a smoothie?
We had Ms. Oshevsky's class last fall and for sports nutrition, and she kind of told us about some foods and fruits that we could eat to help our soreness after practice. And of course, we're sore from lifting weights and running all the time, so we thought we'd give it a shot.
All right, and so John, tell us about our ingredients.
Well, the most important ingredient is the tart cherry juice, which has all the anti-inflammatory properties. And then we have frozen berries. We get them frozen because it keeps it cold without having to put ice in it and water it down. And we also can do the same thing with the bananas. We freeze them as well. And milk to keep it from being too bitter. It makes it taste creamy and gets rid of the tartness in the cherry juice.
All right, so tell us a little bit about the order of adding these ingredients and how you go about making that smoothie.
We first start with our liquid, our 2 cups of tart cherry juice.
All right, and the tart cherry juice has anthocyanins in it, which are antioxidants that are known to help relieve the muscle soreness. Okay, what's next?
The milk.
All right, the milk has a lot of protein and calcium, and as John mentioned earlier, it helps to cut that tartness of the cherry juice and makes the smoothie creamier.
Then we do the bananas.
Okay. One of the things you want to do with the banana is always make sure you get a really ripe banana. You don't want to use a green banana because that'll ruin the flavor.
Now we fill the berries up so the fluid is kind of, so you can see it, so it's nice and thick.
All right, so we got about 2 cups of frozen berries here. And so you guys were telling me that, what do you do if you don't have those frozen berries? What are some of the things you've done?
Pretty much just add whatever fruit you have lying around. We've thrown apples and pears in there, and everything gets blended up, and it usually tastes pretty good no matter what you throw in there.
Right, and that's great because one of the things about making things at home is taking advantage of what you've got laying around the house. All right, so I think we're ready to blend. All right, here we go. All right, guys, that's looking pretty delicious. So while you're pouring that, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some other ingredients that you can add. So many times athletes are struggling with getting enough vegetables into their diet. So one of the things that you can add into a smoothie would be kale and spinach. And so this is a Power Greens blend. And so when you're making your smoothie, the very last thing you want to add to it is maybe just a couple of handfuls of those greens, and you won't even taste it when you drink in your smoothie. And the other thing that you guys can add to help lower inflammation and muscle soreness is to add some ginger. So here we have a ginger root, okay, and you can get this anywhere in the any produce department at any grocery store. And what you're going to end up doing is peeling it, and you guys are going to get a chunk like this, and you could throw a couple of those right in. And there's a study done at the University of Georgia that has shown that people or athletes that consumed ginger for 10 or 11 days but in a row, by day 8, notice less muscle soreness after exercise. All right, so just to kind of recap what was in our recipe, we had 1 cup of milk, we had 2 cups of frozen berries, we had 2 cups of tart cherry juice, and 1 frozen banana. So what do you guys think?
Awesome.
Very good, yeah.
All right, so you'd recommend that for everybody,
Definitely.
right? All right, so thank you very much. I think everyone's going to be inspired to go out and blend, and I hope you guys will try it.
In 5 minutes until the start of the second half, Nolan Alexander with you. Pleasure being joined by Ted Sofianos here from the beautiful pitch of Daytona State College, brand new stadium, and a 2-0 lead for Embry-Riddle over Daytona State. Before we have a look at some of the individual stats here, Ted, your thoughts on the first half?
I thought it was pretty even. It's funny. I just went downstairs real quick, picked up a cheese dog. Just kidding, of course. And we
where's mine?
Yeah, we do have food downstairs for everybody. To tell. We have all kinds of fast food downstairs and some drinks. But I was just got into a discussion with one of our fans here, and he basically reiterated the same things that I was thinking. He said he thought it was pretty even, as was noticed. Of course, there was a few what I would call preseason faux pas, mistakes. That occurs all the time. Like I mentioned to you, how they got all bunched up in one quadrant. When you see something like that, that'll just want the coach is going to want to pull her hair out, because every player knows better. You have to expand the field. But this is going to happen every now and then. They just have to be reminded, as the coach is going to give them some signals and perhaps get on a few of them. But the gentleman said that I was speaking to one of the fans, that there really only were 2 bad passes that unfortunately resulted in quick goals. One was that ping pong match that we noticed in the 6-yard box, but I will say it was a set play, and that set play was formulated with, of course, lots of practice. The coach looking at, different types of corner plays. There's a number of them. You have plays that will, you can skid it off the offender's head into the middle. On this particular case, it was kind of like a waist-high pass. It was a nice kind of touch inside, and she knew exactly where she was trying to place that. Part of it luck as well, though. I don't want to say that that's totally luck, but some of the ping pong that occurred in that play certainly, offered a little bit of, luck. On the second goal, what I noticed, that we really had the upper hand. And because we looked so strong as we were going into their third, close to their not only 18-yard box, but even toward the 6-yard box, we tried to bring it back out because of the block that occurred. And I think it was Machado that just tried to push it back, and then it just ended up in the wrong hands, and they were, like you said, like a gazelle to the races. And it was, I got to tell you, though, that, I'm going to have trouble pronouncing her name. Maybe you could read.
What number are we looking at here?
We're looking at, I believe it was 15.
15 with the goal?
Yeah.
Ragnhildur Gostadottir.
Thank you, Gostadottir. See, I just need to hear it so I can repeat it. But that young lady, and she is from, Gostadottir is from, I believe, Oslo. No, I'm sorry, Akureyri, Iceland. And believe me, very few people can speak Icelandic. So forgive me for those of you out there that know I'm pronouncing Akureyri.
You're not fluent?
No. Milasanin Kapoliko. I speak a little bit of Greek, but I'm sorry, not Icelandic. But I tell you, for Garst, to hold the ball that long, because if you saw that run, that was 20 yards in their own half. Mm-hmm. And this came out, and actually she was flanked by, I believe it was Guro Nesberge, and then you saw her hold it, up until the point where the goalie tried to come out, but as an offender, you want that goalie to commit. And, unfortunately, Shores, she had to commit just a little bit one way or the other, and that was the opportunity to watch the ball go in the back of the net. But overall, as a preseason game, looking at from our coaching point of view, I think we're looking pretty good, and the Lady Falcons really shouldn't be hanging their heads at all at this point.
Well, great analysis, Ted. If you missed the first half, Ted just gave you a detailed description of exactly what happened and why it happened. A quick look at some of the stats. Limited stats for Daytona State, trailing 2-0 here to Embry-Riddle. One shot this far by the sophomore Mitty Hopcroft, one save for Shores. And we do have one yellow card, and that is on the freshman forward out of Destin, Sarah Machado. For Embry-Riddle, the young lady you just spoke about from Iceland, Gostadottir, she has 2 shots and, of course, 1 goal. Also for Embry-Riddle, 1 shot for Guro Nesberge, and 1 shot and a goal for Elvira Ramel off what was a corner kick. And then that ball ricocheted around, and she found the back of the net. So 45 minutes on the clock. Night skies are turning over the world's most famous beach. Lights are on in this beautiful Daytona State College soccer stadium. And this is going to be the last time that we'll see darkness until about, 2-something o'clock, 3 o'clock here tomorrow for the solar eclipse. You have your glasses for it? You ready?
I know. I'm just going to throw caution to the wind and look directly at it and see what happens to my optic nerve. Of course not. I have my glasses.
I was going to say, you may not be broadcasting another game here. You're having trouble with the bifocals looking at your papers.
I thought we'd get a day off, but that's not going to happen.
So switch sides. White kits for the Falcons. She releases it off to the left. And blue kits for the Eagles of Embry-Riddle.
I think we could certainly agree a couple of standouts that we've noticed from the first half besides our goalie, Naomi Garola, Sinead Hopcroft, Heather Nolte, and of course Machado and Vasquez. Some real good plays that they put together and orchestrate.
So now Daytona State will attempt to score on the left side of your screen. Obviously, Embry-Riddle opposite way to the right.
And let's see if the wind is going to have a factor a little bit, because it is blowing now with DSC's offense.
Not as strong, though, as what we saw towards the latter half of the opening half. But, of course, that's liable to change here at any minute.
Kind of like my golf game, though.
Well, mine's like the sunshine. It's non-existent right now. It has been a cloudy day in Daytona Beach. Kind of unusual. Yesterday was absolutely gorgeous out of the world's most famous beach. Bounced around in the middle and then cleared out by the Eagles.
And there's that speedster.
Garstadottir,
correct.
Out to the near side, kicked high and batted away. She releases and it curves out to the left to the safety of Shores.
Now, if you notice there, you had the right wing side for Embry-Riddle. They were overloaded, and with only one defender. Again, that's going to have to be shifted as the players start to notice, who's running where. There's so many different options right now, I think, that the Embry-Riddle coach is throwing at us.
That was a look at Ramel, who had the opening goal in this ball game.
Interesting, just that one part of the field is a little dark by that post, I noticed. A little bit hard to see the numbers from here.
She slices, bounces ahead. Another opportunity, she lets it rip, and the goalie claws it away. Shores with her second save.
Good save. Now a reset, get Daytona State moving forward, create some space between the goalie and the last defender. And sometimes we forget the width of this field. You start running on it, and I try to explain before about expanding the field and showing yourself and not trying to collapse within the middle of the field.
Here's a look! Denied by the goalie. Another opportunity sails high and wide.
Wow, that was close.
Here's one more look at Shores. The New Smyrna native goes all out for one stop. Give her another.
All right, that was marvelously done.
Megan Smith from the right side crosses in the box. These Eagles are eager in the second half, Ted.
Yes, they're really pouring on the pressure right now. And as you notice up front, we only have one lone player because we're falling a little bit back. We're going to have to try to show ourselves in the offensive end just a little bit more. But I love what I'm seeing as far as the passing. And again, all that yelling that you hear, that's great communication on both ends. Now you can see you have a few more kind of pushed up front. A kind of better formation. We're just going to have to run and show ourselves, but I guarantee you they're tired. There's humidity out there. I mean, we're talking about the weather, but it is humid. And people who know Florida know humid.
Too heavy on the grass killer. Garstadottir continues to push it back.
Made the safe play, but back to the keeper. I think Shores was waiting for that one.
Megan Smith, the freshman, over the head.
Nice idea.
Had the idea, didn't have the full seam. But the Falcons do move it up. Bannery way out ahead.
Good job, corner. Looks like she took one on the ankle there. I think that's, is that Machado?
Looks to be Machado on that far side, or no, it's going to be Garola, the sophomore.
Right. Naomi Garola, right. Yeah, she took one on the ankle there. Tough. She's walking it off.
Wind picks back up, blowing in favor of the Falcons.
And as you probably know, sometimes when you get just a little bit tired, it's hard to do it all yourself, and that's when you have to use your teammates most. And that's why they get into those, we call them those triangular type of passing networks. They use the grids effectively in practice quite often. They play a 3v1, and that's what you want to set up all over the field is 3v1s or 3v2s to your advantage, and you work the ball through. They're trying to do that, and sometimes, with the dribbling skills that we have, we're deking some players, and then we're just missing the passes. But overall, I think it's a great job thus far by the Lady Falcons.
Eagles are 1 for 2 with success in corner kicks on the far side, and this one's an outswing way too short. You didn't tell me you were a math teacher here at Daytona State. Just pulling out all these numbers. I'm waiting for some trigonometry terms.
No, don't worry. No, don't worry. My math is bad, especially when I play golf. I miss a few. Can't remember the score exactly at the end.
Garola blocked.
And a corner outcome. Good job. Good job. We didn't have enough in the box. I mean, if you saw it was a 5v2. Need to flood a couple more in there.
So here comes the second corner kick opportunity for the Falcons. 10 minutes into the second half, trailing 2-0. You see that wind blowing towards the goal. Tries with the right spike. A high lob, the header. And then there's Christensen going all out, diving for the loose ball.
A nice try. In that particular case, the ping pong didn't work for us. A little bit of plinko, but a great corner.
Looks to be a sub and goal for the second half. I couldn't see the number, but it's the freshman from New Hampshire, Dana Rucky.
Oh, okay.
So Rucky spells Christensen, who had that shutout in the first half. A Gilmanton, New Hampshire native in net. And there's Shores. That is a strong tackle slide.
Aggressive and well done.
Eagles looking for an angle. Quick whistle and a reset for the Falcons.
Megan Warner on that play. She's stirring it up.
Gets through to the right side. What a tough angle. And much to the dismay of some of the fans underneath us, out of bounds.
Yeah, we can hear some of the oohs and ahs. I agree with him. I didn't think that ball was out. And that was the referee that I liked in the beginning of the day.
I was going to say, you said, for now. Towards the middle. A high heave off right.
Not a bad idea to try to catch the goalkeeper out of position. Nice touch shot.
It's from Armstrong the midi.
And we're seeing a lot of play, at least right now, toward in their defensive end. When I say their defensive end, I mean the Eagles. So the offense has picked up play here for the Lady Falcons.
It's just this left side of the field. Left side likes the offense. And an inverted header will turn over to DSC. Lawson with a stop. Hobcroft switches away.
That was beautiful.
A good angle to Vasquez. Lobs it to the middle. Oh, look! Too far. That looked like the most beautiful chance that Daytona State has had at its first goal.
Absolutely awesome. And I believe it was Machado that did get a touch on it, but just not enough. I mean, it was amazing, an amazing opportunity. Machado did skip it, but the goalie came out ahead on that one.
That goes in. I think you're looking at a SportsCenter top 10 play for Daytona State.
We'll be playing the replay ad infinitum.
Remains 2-0 in favor of Embry-Riddle.
I'm really liking the pressure, though, that I'm seeing. So there's definitely been a change in the offensive makeup as far as their formation and what coach must have said during halftime. I like the recalibration.
Rolfson. Room on the pitch, tries her left. She can't weave enough.
Nicely done by Hopcroft.
A sprint to the far side, kept alive. Stutters and is denied. And she took that one hard. Still bent to the waist.
I don't care where you get hit with a soccer ball when it's about 50 miles per hour. Ooh.
Here's another look at that oh-so-close opportunity for the Falcons.
There's the skip.
We've got a sub for Embry-Riddle. We'll wait on the number to be announced.
And probably about 6 minutes away from that small water break.
And it looks to be Rachel Owens back in for Embry-Riddle. Just off your screen to the left. Olsen winning that one.
Big change of field. A lot of running going on right now. Going to have some tired bodies out there.
Knocked out of the box. Two-0 Embry-Riddle leading Daytona State in this scrimmage matchup, third meeting between these programs.
Nice outlet pass there. Looking for space. Embry-Riddle has certainly collapsed back. They are trying to hang on to the lead. You can see how many defenders they've decided to throw back into their half during that try for us to get into their offensive half. They're flooding their defenders in.
And I have to imagine, Ted, that has to do with the limited number of bodies available at the disposal of Samantha Bohan, 11th-year head coach for Embry-Riddle. The limited number of players in the starting lineup today, as you've said, we have a water break coming up here soon. I would certainly imagine you can't go on the attack too much when you have a lot of tired bodies out there.
Correct. And they're going to, I'm not saying they're trying to sit on the 2-0 lead, but it's something that, by the looks of things, is what's happening. There's a foul for us.
The positive coach speak as you work on your defense.
That's correct.
Hard smack.
Wow. Got to play that ball quick.
And she takes that one off the noggin, and she's down. We have heard two hard pops in the field from that ball.
Just in the last minute.
Ooh. And here's a replay of it. Oh, my.
It looked like that was off the chin.
Straight away, and the
Was that
crowd
Warner?
will applaud her efforts. I believe it was. Megan Warner, the sophomore forward out of Watford, England.
I'll check her out, and hopefully she can come back in.
Oh, my.
This is still a D2 school. They're looking good, but certainly we are holding our own with them. You were mentioning some of the accolades of Embry-Riddle just previous. I mean, they are a powerhouse.
They are an absolute powerhouse. Last year, Embry-Riddle went 8-5 and 8-5-2, respectable record. However, that was the first year since 2008 they did not have at least 11 wins.
Wow. Not a bad strike
Release is
there.
off to the left. And you were talking earlier, Ted, with the AD here at Daytona State.
Right.
And he said when the idea to start this program came up, he said the first call that he made was across the way to Samantha Bohan.
Yeah.
And that she has been outstanding in helping the growth of this program. I know last year, Daytona State, without this marvelous pitch here, practiced at Embry-Riddle, played some games over there, and it's been a great relationship between these two schools and soccer programs.
You know, we have a very unique relationship with Embry-Riddle that I don't think a lot of community colleges do with a private four-year institution. You see those types of relationships maybe with a Valencia and a UCF or a Santa Fe and University of Florida, Gators, where I'm graduated from, sorry to say, for those of you who are non-Gator fans. But what but we had, when we had a hurricane, it was back in 2000, I believe, and the fields, our gymnasium was open up to Embry-Riddle because theirs had some real damage from the hurricane. So we've been doing this together. When we started the soccer program last year, it was, you just mentioned Mr. Will Dunn. He had that, obviously, a very good relationship, good rapport, not only with the coaches, but also with the administration at Embry-Riddle. And we were able to use their field, their soccer field, last year for all our home games. So it's a really unique and positive relationship that we have between the two, the college and the university.
Now, I said I'd mention it later on, and I want to hold myself to my word when we talked about the outstanding 3.4 GPA and the emphasis that Coach Jones has put on academics for these young ladies and their quest to reach their next goal, whatever that may be, especially those that want to move on to a four-year school. But how about this for Coach Bohan with her squad at Embry-Riddle, which, so we see contact but no whistle, which is a very rigorous academic school. Her team in 2015 posted a 3.87 GPA. That was good enough, much like the Daytona State women's golf team here, to be the best GPA Division 1 through 3. Absolutely
Amazing.
Outstanding job by her program. Last year, they fell off. They had a 3.67.
Yeah, and I know our Lady Falcon golfing team also, who won the national championship last year, also were nationally ranked for their GPA, and I'm going to just take a shot here and say they were ranked first in the nation for a JUCO.
Couldn't say that I had a 3.87 GPA. I'm just the dumb blonde to your left.
I had a 3.87 when I had library skills and gym.
Lob inside the box, too far out to the left. And we're coming up on that water break. We'll see when the referees announce it. 2-0 Embry-Riddle leading Daytona State as Shores waits for the Falcons.
Yeah, you're right. I imagine they're going to call that water break any second. Probably next dead ball. I like the spacing more in this particular half for the Lady Falcons. The spacing is better. You can see the kind of opening up the field a little bit more rather than get too into it's really a trap when you get too concentrated. It makes it easier to defend.
So there we have the water break announced, a 2-0 lead for Embry-Riddle over Daytona State. Nolan Alexander joined by Ted Sufianos. And we talked about Embry-Riddle here being on the defensive, and you're seeing progress out of Daytona State. What do you think is going to be the deciding factor, the breaking point for the Falcons to break this shutout and finally put one in the back of the net?
I think just like you saw that one play that we had a replay of when the ball was put into the center, and I think it was Hopcroft that made that caught that skip. I mean that's the type of plays and offense, communication, skill sets that these ladies are already showing. They have what it takes. I think if the game ended even this way at 2-0, you're going to see a lot of positive takeaways for the coach and for the team. Again, this is a Division I school. We are playing. I can't say we're not being outplayed at all, from what I can tell. Again, that's just the two bad passes that resulted in goals, and it doesn't usually end like that. A lot of times you make a bad pass and you get a little bit lucky on the keeper's end, and like I said, the fan that was outside that I had that bit of a conversation with prior to the second half beginning, he agreed, so his insights were just as good as my own.
So remind us again, the first official grand opening of this stadium, the next broadcast, when is it? September the... Oh, you had it written down.
Yes, sir. I have it right here in my notes. Let me fish them out.
So you have to look one more time at that near goal. That the best ever thus far for the Falcons in their attempt to find the back of the net.
The ladies' home opener, September 8th.
September 8th. There you go. Mark it down on your calendars.
Right. Weber International. That's 7 p.m. And the men's home opener, September 2, 1 p.m. against Georgia Military.
So up next for Daytona State, the ladies will hit the road taking on USC Lancaster on August 25th. Embry-Riddle also on the road, but remaining in Volusia County and an exhibition against Stetson on the 27th. Now, you had a fun story you teased a little bit earlier about Coach Jones of how she got into coaching. It wasn't necessarily by plan starting out, was it?
No, when I interviewed her a bit and we started talking, she's obviously been in soccer since she was a young kid, she told us, a Stetson grad, and she originally was trying to get into, well, she was in pre-med program at Stetson, and I'm sure that's a rigorous program. And she was a center back as she played at Stetson. And then just through kind of just the way things happen, good networking, the way that, sometimes careers are born, she was under a lady named Julia Orlowski and ended up becoming the assistant coach for Stetson.
She was here at Daytona State. She needed a credit class to complete her degree. She said she changed her major 3 or 4 times. So she had that assistant coach opportunity, and then what do you know? Do it for a year, you think, hey, I think I can take a shot at this.
Exactly, and her mother was questioning her, said, this is what you're going to do? And she said, yeah, this is what I love. And I think she's a great asset to our college and to our community.
And talking with her, too, what's unique about her opportunity here at Daytona State is, as a coach, she's required to teach here as well. And she seemed just as excited about the opportunity she has in the classroom to teach students and to help mold their lives just as much as she is getting out here in the pitch.
She teaches a course called Student Success, which is basically an orientation course. It's 3 credits. If it's a face-to-face class, it's 15, 16 weeks long. But it resides on a 3-legged stool. This is something here.
See if the Falcons can capitalize. Again, sniffed away by Embry-Riddle.
And the course stands on kind of like a 3-pronged stool: sociology, psychology, and student success strategies. It also transcends the values of both education and what you see here as far as work ethic on the field.
Hesitation, Vasquez, a touch, back to her. And it's out of bounds.
A lot of pushing and shoving going on right there.
She'll attempt the corner. We'll see if the third time's the charm, Ted.
Yeah, I awarded a corner. I thought it was a goal kick at first. Great job. Great tenacity shown there.
Here we go. Outside the 6-yard box. Now a loose ball and a whistle.
And the oohs and ahs from the crowd because they don't think the zebra got it right.
Here, take a closer look at it now, Ted.
Yeah, you have a good header, good skip. Keeper came out, fumbled with the ball. I don't see a foul there one bit.
I don't either. I know it's not an easy call, but I don't see one either.
No, good job on the fans' part. They got it right.
Well, Ted, help me out here. Can you call him a zebra when we've got
I'm
green stripes on?
Obviously, I just shown my age again. Now, yeah, they've changed from the black and white stripes. I know, but we used to call them zebras back in the day. It was an affectionate term. I mean, zebras, there's nothing wrong with them.
Time ticking down for a Falcon comeback here in the second half. Approaching 18 minutes left in regulation.
And that's what I was talking about before, that switching of the field, expanding the field. It was the right idea, just not the touch needed.
And to state more of the obvious, Ted, we're in the preseason. The execution isn't going to be what you want at the end of the season, and nor should it be. You don't want to peak right now.
Correct. That's why I mentioned the idea. The idea is actually more important at this point in time than the execution. And that validates.
And there's another goal for Embry-Riddle, just out of the reach of Shores, over her head, and the Eagles had an open lane.
Probably get a replay on that.
Second corner that's proved effective for Embry-Riddle. Off the left boot
It's a high
from
setup.
Zayla.
Yeah, a high setup, and looks like the keeper got caught on one of her players' backs and just couldn't get to the ball.
And I wanted to verify that very quickly since we didn't have an announcement, or I may have missed it, as to who scored that goal. And you have a guess?
I'm going to say it was that lady from Iceland.
There you go. Ragnhildur Gostadottir. Her second goal, and she's just a freshman. That name is going to become very familiar here in Daytona Beach for the next 4 years. I have a strong feeling about it.
I think that's correctly said. She has speed, she has size, and skills. That's a coach's dream right there.
Eagles goal scored by number 15, Ragnhildur Gostadottir.
Ref let play go a little bit there.
So 3-0 lead for the Eagles. And Ted, I'm impressed too. This is a limited bunch for Embry-Riddle. Us obviously having water breaks here. One time each half, a couple of times for the game. Not a ton of players. Embry-Riddle, as you said, has been more on the defensive here in the second half. But this being the first scrimmage, only having the team together for about a week, 3 goals already. It's a good effort. I think the sky is pointing upward for Embry-Riddle in 2017.
Oh, they look strong, no doubt about it. I'd say 2 of those goals could easily not have occurred if not for a couple of good breaks. But they are looking good. I think that we as competitors for them right now, I'd love to see another scrimmage before the preseason's out, but obviously that's not going to happen.
Well, based on the relationship and I think the willingness between these two programs, I have a feeling this is going to become more of an annual thing in the preseason, these two squads getting together.
Yes, I fully agree with you. And I know the administrations are work in concert with each other, and it's nice to see not only the administrations but also the teams come together to basically assist the community with resources and facilities and so on.
Here come the Falcons on the attack. Across to the middle. Just out of her reach, but a rebound. And Owens denies it. This will be the 4th corner for the Falcons. And it's Hopcroft to take it.
I like the aggressiveness, though, here.
She launches strong to the far post. The header is saved. A diving attempt to the right for Ruchti.
And you were just saying it, like, what's going to change, here? That was certainly one that could have been a game changer.
Another look, a strong corner, a beautiful header. But Ruchti is right there.
Well in. And that was picture perfect. Everything the coach could ask. That was a header hit downward into the ground. That's what you teach them while you're coaching. That was well done.
Owens gets in front of the Lawson pass. A beautiful angle, a look, but a whistle and an offside.
And also missed. That was the good news as well. Good call by the ref. Him and I are back on good terms.
I was going to say, he lost his dinner date for after the game, and now apparently he's back on.
He's back on. I'm thinking fajitas or tacos at Moe's. Controlled it with her hand a little bit there.
Owens lobs hard. Remains with the Eagles.
And I think she was trying to hit Megan Smith, or is that Gus? Oh, I'll never say the name right.
Garstad.
Guarded, yeah, guarded, yeah.
Right between the wicket. Hopcroft. Now turns. Ted, you know that game, the arcade game Dance Dance Revolution?
You know,
where you stand and you got to switch your footwork based on what it says in the screen up there. Hopcroft would be a world champion at that.
Is that like Guitar Magic or one of those type of games?
It's like Guitar Hero, but it's with your feet instead. Yeah. So you have to do the moves with your body.
You see, you're talking a guy who had AFX cars and Monopoly. I mean, I can't relate to those things.
I'm past the Atari stage here.
But honestly, that was some incredible dance moves, and had three Eagles faked out of their socks.
Ruckty races outside this 6-yard box and barely snares it.
Well, and
Krebser gets it in. Knocked away. 10 minutes left in regulation. And we've got a sub in net. See if we can zoom in on that jersey number. The only other goalie on the roster that hasn't played yet for Embry-Riddle is the sophomore from Prescott, Arizona, Joel Babinski, and I beat the PA announcer by about half a second in recognition there. So Babinski in net.
That cross from Krebser coming from the left side, she's a natural right footer. So that's why it's kind of tough sometimes to put a good left boot on it when you're a righty coming from the left side.
Hopcroft off the free. And a brick wall for Embry-Riddle. The Falcons must try again. Entanglement and a whistle.
She was making a great attempt to try to get past the one player that obviously in your own back defense end, you don't want to play with the ball like that, but in your offensive end, that's not only desirable and allowable, but desirable as well. Especially with the skill sets that you see Machado demonstrating. Great footwork. That could be a yellow.
A snare, a whistle, and there's the card.
Yeah, that looked a little bit like WWF wrestling there. A little bit worried.
Guro Nasberge.
Nice pronunciation.
Thank you, sir. I'm not 100% confident that was correct, but I gave it my best effort based off the guide.
Oh, she got caught off sides. All righty.
So 1 yellow card per each side here in the waning minutes of this scrimmage match.
Trying to see who got caught off there. Offside.
High boot by Babinski. Upcroft on the cross angle. A little backwards twill to the sideline. Good angles here for the Falcons. But there's Riddle smothering once more.
You're seeing some more open play here, though, by the Falcons, and I think they're showing a lot of progress, especially in this part of the second half. Actually, the whole second half.
Foot race in the sideline, out of bounds. Lawson to toss it in for Daytona State.
I mean, you were saying Amarillo, they've been together about a week. I think we've only been together perhaps 2. So it'll take some time.
I think what's so unique for Embry-Riddle is the massive amount of international students in this roster, 14 out of 20 this year. And a part of that acclimation process for Coach Bohan is every newcomer rooms with an upperclassman. And that's to help with team cohesion, but also some things you may not think about if you're not an immigrant to the United States or you're not here off a visa or a student, whatever you may be. Cell phones, bank accounts, little things like that help out, where sometimes it's already a rush in a new country. You don't even think about the little things like that.
The student commons and the local McDonald's.
I'd say hopefully these ladies on either side aren't having too much of the Mickey D's, but if you're running, as you said, 7 to 12 miles, you can have a quarter pounder, maybe a double if you're really hungry.
They can eat whatever they want, but like you said, the science of nutrition has really stepped up and become a part of not only, the 4-year schools, but ours as well. And any good coach knows that.
And we just saw that in our halftime package. A couple of baseball players teaming up with sports medicine and nutrition. As here's a just wide to the left of Babinski in the net, making an antioxidant smoothie, which looked absolutely delicious. I wish I could just reach through the screen and bring some samples up here to the booth for us.
Antioxidant smoothie. Wow.
Yeah, maybe for all of our production crew listening in, you're getting a little hint next time, at halftime.
If it can, replay here.
There you saw it just wide off the long knock.
I mean, but they're pressing. Well done. The ideas are there. And they're pressing. Oh, nice move.
Babinski scoops.
Now, if you could put a pizza and some Greek yogurt in a smoothie, I'm good with that.
I'm not holding that up. That's coming out about 5 minutes into this broadcast, if so.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give you that visual.
Just go have your Moe's later with the referee, all right?
No, don't worry. Won't be Moe's. No, we have some excellent food downstairs, by the way.
What's on the menu? Tell our fans for they come here for the home opener.
They have some nice tidbits. I'm not sure of the full menu as of yet, but I saw some people walking out, some good-looking nachos and pretzels, some soda, some other, packaged snacks. So I know they have a nice array downstairs.
And did Ted think to get anything for his cohort in the booth? She releases from the left side, just off to the right. And it gets the crowd on its feet here in the waning minutes.
That was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. That was a heck of an angle to shoot from.
Here's the replay. Michaela Krebser. Just off to the right. Sophomore out of Bradenton, Florida. Sister 1 year apart, Maya also on the roster. She's on the defensive end.
Yeah, the Lady Falcons are really pressing. Been a great half for them.
No quit in this team. Another long kick. Babinski swats it as he stretches to her right. Here comes Daytona State again. No quit. Headed away.
That was a heck of a drive, that shot. Heck of a drive.
Now just 2 minutes left in regulation.
I don't have the stopwatch with me today, but I would say you'd look at, in this second half, at least 70 to 75% possession in Lady Falcons' favor.
I'd agree with you. I would certainly agree with you. And that looks to be Tillman in net now over the past few minutes for Daytona State. Jenna Tillman, sophomore out of Winter Park. Here's open grass. Cuts to the outside. Tackles a Falcon down, and it's out of bounds. 55 seconds and ticking down. She's still down.
I hope she's okay. She's writhing in pain. 12. Naomi Garula. Yeah.
The sophomore has been beaten up quite a bit tonight.
She's toughing it out.
You see her grimacing. She's going to effort out these last 42 seconds. Another corner look for the Falcons. They nearly had their last one. This one from the right side. Good high boot over the top of the net.
Good thought, though. Good thought. You know, one thing that's really interesting also about this field and this resource is also going to be a community facility. There will be a couple of high schools using this field on separate occasions. We have Regional 8 Conference, which will be 5 teams. We'll be hosting that for this year coming, 2017.
And that'll do it. That's your final whistle in this scrimmage matchup. Embry-Riddle 3, Daytona State 0, but a highly contested second half that sees Daytona State make some marked improvement from their first half efforts to what they were accomplished there in the second half, Ted.
Yes, Nolan, I was extremely impressed with the play. I do think that Coach Jones tweaked it as far as the formation and how they were going to deal with what Embry-Riddle was serving them up. So as you saw, and I mentioned it before, at least 65-70% of possession went to Daytona State at that time. And it was just a messy corner that was the third goal that went in. We certainly had some opportunities. This easily could have been a 2-2 or a 3-2 game. So very, very impressive. And they made some great gains on that second half.
Your player of the match?
I'm going to have to say it's Machado. But you know what? Who might even be tied with her would be Naomi Garula as well. Both of those players, and of course Alexis Vasquez. Those are my three top. I don't have a favorite one, but those three were outstanding with their skill sets, passing abilities, dribbling skills.
So up next for Daytona State, it's USC Lancaster on August 25th for Embry-Riddle at Stetson, a scrimmage. on August 27th. A big thanks to our entire production crew that has made this first broadcast possible. We look forward to bringing you so many more as we tell the story of Daytona State Falcon athletics in 2017-18. For my partner Ted Sofianos, an absolute pleasure working with you today. My name is Nolan Alexander, signing off here from the beautiful Daytona State College Soccer Stadium, saying we'll see you next time. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Take care now.